Today we have Mr. DeSandre showing us the more advanced methods of adding with denominators that are not common.
Okay, now most of the fractions that we have to deal with, very few have the same denominators. So we have developed a faster way of adding fractions. The first is you multiply diagonal. Okay, and you get 1 times 3 is 3. And you do what the signs tell you. If there is a positive here, you put a positive down here. And then you go multiply 2 times 2, and you just put a up here just to kind of remind you. 2 times 2 is 4. That becomes your numerator, so you add it all up, which is 7. And you need the denominator, which is 2 times 3, and that will be 6. Now, what you have done is you got a common denominator. 1/2 is 3/6. 2/3 is 4/6, and you add it up, so you get 7/6. Or you could say 1 1/6. Okay, now I want you guys to take these two fractions, yes, all of you, and I want you to add these together using what we call the zigzag method. So we'll take a pause for a minute, and then you go ahead and add them up. Okay, now that you've had a few minutes to work on this, let's see if you got the right answer. Okay, the first thing we do is you must start at the top left. Multiply down diagonally, and you get 3 times 3. There's your positive. You do what the sign tells you. Then you go diagonally in the other direction, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. And this becomes your numerator. You add it all up, and you get 17. But we still need to get that common denominator. So we do that by going 4 times 3, which is 12. And you get 17/12. Okay? Now, if you want, you can break that down, 12, and then you can have 1 5/12. But this is the part that we're most interested in right now. Okay, now that we've worked with addition a little bit, let's take a second and let's work with subtraction. It's almost the exact same method. Okay, we will take 4/5. I want you guys to write this down, even you guys in the back. And I want you to subtract, we'll go with 4/5, and I want you to subtract 2/3. All we have to do is we must start with the upper left, just like we did with addition. And we go 4 times 3 is 12. Again, we do what the sign says. So in this case, it will be subtraction. And then we will go 5 times 2, which is 10. And again, this becomes our numerator, or the top number. 12 minus 10 is 2. And then we need that common denominator, which is 5 times 3, which is 15. And you're done. This is a very, very fast way, and it's worth learning. Okay, now let's take a second, and you guys will actually work on this one. This is the one I want you to do. So let's take a moment. We will go 7/8 minus 1/2. I will pause for a minute, and you try this one on your own. Okay, now that you've had a moment to work on this, let's see if you got the right answer. First thing we do is we will start where? That's right, top left. Multiply down, and you get 7 times 2, and we got a, that's right, 14. What's our sign? Again, you do what you're told. This is subtract, so you will subtract. Second part of that numerator is you start at the bottom and then you multiply diagonally. 8 times 1 is 8. Okay, 14 minus 8 is 6. And then right here, we need the bottom number, we need the denominator. So we'll just go 8 times 2. This is the zigzag method. It works very nicely. 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, now you can reduce that down. I can divide a what out of each one? Okay, now we can actually reduce this. I can divide a 2 out of each one. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 16 divided by 2 is 8. So this is actually reduces to 3/8. This version is guaranteed to be quick. It is not necessarily, it does not necessarily give you the most reduced version, but it is very, very fast.